great to have you on the show. I just want to begin by asking you, it's been almost 2 weeks since that World Cup win. Has it all sunk in that Jemimah Rodrigues and the women in blue are world champions?
Firstly, thank you, sir, for having me on the show. If I can be very honest, it's still sinking in. Yeah, I think it's going to take us a while because after the tournament, we didn't have much time to, just sit down alone and let everything process. But I think coming to Australia has given me that time, and yeah, it's still sinking in. I think it's going to take a while.
I want to tell you, I went to the mall yesterday and I went to buy a shoe. And outside the Nike shop were large posters of you and Smriti Mandana. I mean, it almost seems as if now your household names. You go on the street now, even in Bandra, you can't go unrecognized, right? You are the whole celebrityhood that's coming in. Are you comfortable with it?
Sir, I can't tell you how things have changed after that World Cup, after the semi-finals, in fact. Um, being a Bandra girl, I love going out for walks, love going to cafes, taking my dog out for walks. But after what has happened last few days when I was at home and, leaving for the WBB, and it was so hard for me to walk out on the streets. I remember at the airport, I put a mask on because there's so much that happened over that week. I didn't get time to process everything, and there was we got the honor to meet our PM, our Prime Minister, and the President, and a lot of travel. Came back home, had to pack my bags to leave for the WBBL. And I remember even at the airport, I put a mask so that nobody recognized me, but people were recognizing me even through a mask. The whole airport, there were always people coming in asking for pictures, just saying they're so proud of what you've done and the team has done. And I remember sitting on the flight too. I just sat down. Okay, I sat down. Okay, now things are going to settle in. But everyone on the flight also started recognizing, and it is a rare sight for us because we've not got such an overwhelming response before. Yes, people used to follow, but this time it's different, and I think I will take some time to get used to the hype and everything that's happened.
I want to rewind to that magical night at Navi Mumbai, the semi-finals first, because many are describing your unbeaten century as one of the greatest innings played in the World Cup, men or women. I've heard people liken it to Harmanpreet Kaur's 2017 knock against Australia, to Kapil Dev in 1983 against Zimbabwe. So it seems that that was a defining moment for Indian women's cricket and for you to chase 339 against Australia, who had not lost a World Cup ODI for 15 matches in a row. Just relive that night for us. Was that, in a way, the most overwhelming moment in your cricket career?
I would say yes, it was the most overwhelming moment. And I'll tell you, it was not just because of my 100. It was because we defeated Australia in the semi-finals, and that too at home, which in the last few years, we've come so close and lost by either 5 runs or lost by 8 runs and 9 runs. And it's always been Australia. So I think, firstly, for it to be Australia and us defeating Australia was a massive, massive thing because we know the Australians and we know how they play their cricket. We know that they are these dominating figures and who always want to win, always get their A game out. And if we got to do well against them, we got to, dominate even more than what they're doing. So I think the first thing would be it's because it was Australia. The second thing it would be it was a World Cup semi-finals at home. And to the third thing would be it was a target that was I don't think was chased in a knockout game before. I'm not sure about that, but 339 is a big score, and especially when
No, that's right.
count it
It's a high record.
yeah, especially when you count it in a semi-finals or a finals, it's like you're actually chasing. You add 20, 30 runs more to that because of the pressure. So I think for us to chase that total with an over and few balls to spare massively spoke about the character of this team. And I know everyone's talking about my 127, but I would like to highlight actually Harry and my partnership. I think that just got us back into the game. For me and Harry to have that partnership. And then from there, for Dipti to come and play that impact knock, for Richa to come and again just smack some sixes and boundaries, and then for Aman to come and finish it off well and for us both to do it together. Um, I feel that if we wouldn't have had these small impact innings and having these partnership, I don't think we would have won the semi-finals. So I can't take credit that, oh, I scored 100. No, it was a collective
You
team
know,
effort. And I also feel that our bowlers restricted them with the way they were going. I thought they would touch 400, but we restricted them to 339. Especially in the last 10 overs, we pulled back really well. So I think it was a collective team effort, and we couldn't do it without each other.
sure, it was a remarkable team effort, but what stood out for me, particularly in that semi-final, is just how calm you were. Even when you scored 100, there was no fist pumps, or you were remarkably calm. You were speaking to yourself, probably praying, especially when that catch was dropped by Alisa Healy of yours.
Yeah.
But the calmness, where did the calmness come from? The sheer, almost as if you had shut out all the noise around you. That is quite remarkable to do for anyone in sport. So where did that come from, that inner belief?
I don't know how to put it forth. It just felt like I think something more divine had come upon me at that moment, and that's all I can put it forth in, because even when now I look back and I think that how could I be so calm, how could I be so collective at that moment? It's hard, especially with all the anxiety I was going through, especially with being dropped 2 games before and coming back, playing a World Cup semi-finals at home, the pressure, the expectations, playing against Australia. It just felt like, it was just something divine was, his hand was upon me, Jesus' hand was upon me. And when I got that 50 and I got that 100, I knew my job was not done. And me not celebrating was just to tell myself that, Jemmy, the job's not done. India needs to win. And whenever, thoughts came, because,
Fantastic.
thoughts came that I might lose my wicket or I might get out, our hotel was right next to the ground. I looked at that hotel and I asked myself, Jemmy, what would make you more happier tomorrow? You wake up with a 50, you wake up with 80 or 100 and your team loses, or you wake up tomorrow having a smile on your face, we are going to play the World Cup finals. And I said, play the World Cup finals. And I was like, that's my answer. I just want to do it to help India win. It's not about me, it's not about my score, it's about making India win. And things just fell into place.
You mentioned anxiety, presumably, and you were very, very open about it, speaking about the fact that you would get up in the night crying when you had been dropped out of the team, almost as if you were depressed. I mean, was that spontaneous? Is this something you wanted to tell people that, look, you will go through good times and bad in life, you've just got to take it on the chin? Is that how you've been? Your faith played an important role to take you through those periods of anxiety?
100%. When you're going through anxiety, sometimes it's way over your head. I tried to fight it, I tried to control it, it just got worse. But when you know there's someone greater than you who loves you so much and who can take care of you, who's stronger than your anxiety, I think it just releases a lot of pressure off you. And about me being open about it, I think before the New Zealand game, I had a conversation with Arundhati. I mean, she's been there with me throughout this time, checking on me. Every time I tried, she was there. I was speaking to her and she's like, I was thinking of should I go to church that night or no, because if I would have gone to church before the New Zealand game, I knew I would start crying because I was not doing okay. Because I was just dropped and I didn't even know if I would play the next game or no. But she told me this one thing, and that really stuck to me. She said, "Who says a church is a place where you can't cry?" And that really made me think about it. And the second thing she said, just like you, there are so many people going through that, but who are not able to talk about it. But imagine you going there and talking about it. I can't guarantee you the results will come or things will massively change, but it might just give someone else hope that yes, okay, Jemmy is also in this with me and I'm not alone going through it. I think that really opened my mind up, because nobody likes talking about their weakness.
Right.
Nobody likes talking about their anxieties or the pressures they're going through. But my only reason of going to church that night and the only reason of opening up after the semifinals was that there are so many people like me who are going through the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. And, you mentioned Jesus, and you mentioned your faith, and you mentioned church. And this is a slightly contentious question, because there was a time, not over a year or so ago, where your religious faith was being targeted. Even your family was targeted. Was that also a vulnerable moment for you? Because you are a proud Indian, but you are also proud of your faith. And when you're targeted on your faith, especially for social media, would you follow it? Did that deepen your sense of anxiety and depression at times, even particularly when your parents were also dragged into it?
So to be honest, I remember when that happened, and especially, okay, being me, it's fine, but when my parents were also dragged into it for something we didn't do, like everything we did at that moment was according to the rules and regulations, and we have proof of that. But what allegations they put upon me and my family really hit me, really hit my family, because we had done nothing wrong. And that happened after the World Cup in Dubai, where we had not done well. I personally had not performed well. I was
Right.
already feeling really, really bad, mentally down because of what happened in the World Cup. And suddenly I'm seeing the news and people are messaging me and saying these things have been said about you, but worse about your family and your church. And that really hit me. I remember my brother called me and I just started crying and said, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's just like back to back uh, things are just happening, first with the World Cup, with my performance, and then dragging my family and putting false allegations against me and my family. But I think we just had a conversation as a family too, and we're like, you know what? This is not our battle to fight. We know our intentions were right. We know we have not done anything wrong, and God is our witness. We have not done anything wrong. So if anything is there, God will fight for us.
Who is someone you've looked up to? Someone whom, as a young girl growing up, you said, I want to be like her or him?
My role model would definitely be my mom and my dad, just purely for the sacrifices, the hard work they've put in. They've worked tirelessly after me and my brothers. They've done whatever in their capacity. We didn't come from a very well-to-do family. We came from a middle-class family. But for us, for them to take that move of shifting from Bhandup to Bandra, you know how expensive properties in Bandra are. They did it just because me and my brothers don't have to travel
Sure.
every day for 1.5, 2 hours in the morning. And we were staying in a house which was 185 square feet, and five of us. In Bhandup, we had a big house. We had a 1+1, but for them to take that step of faith to do it, I think they are my true inspirations. You know, not knowing what's going to happen in the future, but just taking that step of faith for their kids, working hard, sacrificing, taking loans to pay our
Is,
fees to buy a bowling machine. My dad took a loan to buy a bowling machine so that I can learn to play swing. All these things, I think they are my biggest inspiration. And
some of the shots that you play, particularly those dab sweeps that you play and your late cuts, you've got great wrists, obviously, because that's the only way you can play some of those shots. You're not a power hitter, but you have this wonderful gift of timing and placement. So was there ever a choice, cricket or hockey? And you made the right choice, of course. But did you ever think, maybe I should be a hockey player and not a cricketer? Was hockey the pehla pyar?
I think cricket, I started playing cricket at the age of 4 and I started playing hockey at the age of 8. But it so happened that I started
Okay.
playing both so well that I played hockey for the state and cricket for the state at the same time. So I genuinely wanted to play both for the country. I love hockey. Even till now, I love hockey. And I think I love cricket and hockey the same. I don't think there's any difference between that. And I remember that, uh, my dad making me sit down. I was 11 years old at that time. My dad one day making me sit down and he's like, Jem, I know this was going to be a hard decision, but we got to choose between cricket and hockey because both were clashing. Like, cricket's throughout the year. And hockey, I was not able to balance it. There were also times I used to
Right.
go practice at Azad Maidan at 6:30 in the morning. From there, directly mom would get my breakfast. I would eat, I would change, go to MHA, that is the hockey ground near Wankhede Stadium, and play a match.
Yes.
And then from there,
Yes,
go
I
back
remember.
home or go to school. Yeah. So but then after a certain point, it was very hard because we were touring for cricket and hockey practices were there, state matches were there. It was hard to balance both. So my dad made me sit down and he was like, you got to choose. And just imagine this 11-year-old sitting down, making the decision of her life. And my dad was so supportive. My mom was so supportive. They're like, we are going to back you with whatever you choose. It's your decision. Because at the end, you're going to play for India. And we just want to support you and be there for you. And I remember crying, one tear popping down my eye, and like, Dada, I love both. I can't choose. And he's like, I know, baby, it's going to be hard, but we got to make a choice. Let's see what happens in the future. You never know. You can play both for the country. And that is still my dream to play cricket and hockey
You,
for the country. I don't know how
you
it's going to
made,
happen, but if it will happen.
I have a
Yeah.
photograph of that has also gone viral of you, of Nasir Hussain, a
All
tweet
right.
of a little young Jemimah. I don't know, you were 17 at the time, and
16,
saying, watch
16
out
and a
for
half,
her,
I
she's
think.
going to be a
Yeah.
star. Uh, eh, 16 and a half you were, and there is Nasir Hussain, the former England captain, telling the world that you're going to be a star. Did you also in your mind think you were always going to be a star? Was this always something you wanted to do, particularly when you saw the likes of Nasir Hussain saying that you're going to be a star? Did that put added pressure, or was Jemimah convinced that little Jemmy is going to become one day a World Cup champion?
To be honest, at that time, I was too young to understand what it meant for it to put pressure on me. I mean, I know Nasir Hussain, the history he's had, and the legend he is, and just for him to come to my school was a great honor for me. I was very nervous and excited at the same time, and I remember him tweeting that about me during that time, and it just made me feel really nice. It didn't put pressure on me, to be honest. It just gave me, sometimes you just need that a little boost, a little confidence that okay, if someone like Nasir Hussain is saying this, then maybe there's something about me. But yeah, I never really thought that few years down the line something like this would happen at such a large scale. I always knew because my parents always told me and always believed in me when I was nothing. They always said you're meant for greater things. You're born to do great things in life. So that belief was always there growing up, and it's come from my roots and what my parents have taught me and spoken life over me always and believed in me. But yeah, I mean, even in my wildest imaginations, I would have not imagined
But
something like this happening.
what happens next? Is there another goal out there?
So what happens next is you wake up the next day and you continue the same routines you've done all your life. You hit the gym, you go for practice, you work hard, you try and get better. I think that doesn't change no matter who you are or what you do. And I feel now after this win, the responsibility for us as the Indian women's cricket team has, gotten more. It's gotten more because we have played a brand of cricket. People have been inspired, but it's our time to go out there and raise our standards even more and go to a higher level in cricket, and inspire a lot more people. Because now, yes, we can enjoy this success, but once we come back, we know we mean business. The expectation is going to be even more, and we have set that standards, and it's a good expectation to have so that we keep working hard and pushing our limits and keep getting better. So I don't think anything else changes in my routine after becoming a world champion. I still get up and still do the same basic things again, still hit the gym, still try and work on my recovery and my nutrition, still work hard and see how I can improve my game in batting, bowling, and fielding.
Your favorite Bollywood song? Do you have an old favorite? And I'll sing it with you.
ये दोस्ती हम नहीं
दोस्ती
तोड़ेंगे
हम
तोड़ेंगे
नहीं
हम
छोड़ेंगे
मगर तेरा साथ
ये
ना
दम मगर
छोड़ेंगे.
तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे. Wow, lovely. Jemmy, we'll get you to sing that with Mr. Gavaskar and Kya Hua Tera Wada and many more. But for now, for having brought so many smiles to so many faces and done so wonderfully well and told your story with such vulnerability, empathy, and great joy, I really want to thank you on behalf of all those who love this wonderful game of cricket and sport in India for having done what you and the entire Women in Blue have done. Go well in life, and thank you very much for inspiring so many.